Welcome, everyone. On today's podcast, we are talking about the wealth container, building, making a wealth container, mindset, character, attitude, and ways of doing things to build it. The Frame of Mind Inc. podcast starts right now. Get your mind right. Get your mind right. It's a frame of mind. Welcome, everyone, to the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. This is your boy, Simbawi Nibaye Jr., a.k.a. TK, and my man, Omar Williams. We call him O. Say what's up to the peeps.
What's going on, good people?
It's another lovely Wednesday, and y'all know how we do. We jump right in. Don't waste no time and get things started. But before we do that, you know it's Affirmation Wednesday. Get our affirmations in and out the way. So if you haven't written down, you got it memorized, or however you want to go about doing it, say it along with us. Let's get these affirmations in and out the way. And no matter what day it is, it could be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's affirmation, whatever day it is for you as well. Are you ready? Let's do it. Today will be a good day. Today will be a great day. Today will be an awesome day. Today will be an amazing day. Today will be a phenomenal day. Today will be stress-free. Today will be a stress-less day. Today, I will overcome all barriers that want to block my progress. Today, all circumstances, issues, and situations will work in my favor. Today, all things will line up for my good. Today, I'll become better than who and what I was yesterday. Today is my day. I am a go-getter. I am victorious. I am triumphant. I am an overcomer. I never lose. I either win or I learn. I take authority over this day. I will dominate this day. I will conquer this day. And everything I have spoken into this day will happen as I have affirmed, because I am more than a conqueror. Let's get it going. So today we're talking about the wealth container. The wealth container. You might say, what is that? Well, it's pretty much explanatory. It's about building wealth. And today we're going to strictly talk about building wealth, not how to keep it, how to build it, because you got to go step by step. You got to build it first. And then learning how to keep it is a way to do that consistently, because over time you're learning how to maintain your wealth, whether it's money or it's, character, attitude, all that. Because, like, again, wealth is not just money. Wealth is what it is that you have that is an abundance of, that if you were to give some of it away, you still have a whole lot left of it. That could be anything. Now, you may say, well, TK, how do I give away my character? Well, you don't necessarily give it away, but it can rub off on other people. How do I give my attitude away? Well, you don't give it away. It can rub off on other people. Now, of course, money is something you would give away to someone. But again, your character, your attitude, your mindset, you don't give your mindset away to someone, but it can be something that you can teach someone else how to build their mindset. But you can't give that information away to someone if you haven't built your mindset up already. If you haven't built your mindset up into a place where you're able to teach others how to do that. You get me? All right.
Get you.
So let's jump into this. So number one, this is not necessarily number one, just I guess for the first topic of discussion. It's been said that having a business out of your home is one of the more popular things to do now. And the thing is, it's been popular in the upper echelon of those who are in the I would say not even the 1%, but those who are either rich or wealthy, having a business at home is something that people do quite often. Now, you have those who don't have an at-home business at all and are wealthy or rich and or wealthy. But what happens is that there are a lot of things behind the scenes that they are doing that is helping to maintain their wealth and maintain their riches and maintain their achievement and fulfillment in life. Now, make no mistake, we're not telling you here that being wealthy is the way to be happy or joyous in life. We're not saying that at all. What we're saying is that when you build up enough wealth within your life, whether it's finances, attitude, character, mindset, whatever it is that is, a wealth of knowledge, whatever that is, when you build that up to a degree, there's a lot you can accomplish, not just for yourself, but for others. Because it's all about doing for others. But you have to accumulate, some wealth on your end, whatever that wealth is, in order to be able to help other people in life, period. So, but we're talking about this from a business standpoint, okay? Let's go business here, all right? Having a business at home. And what does that mean? Well, number one, it cuts down on overhead. Number one. Number two, the mortgage you're paying on your house, that mortgage, a portion of that can go towards a write-off for your business because you have an at-home business. That includes, cell phone bill, water bill, electric bill, all that stuff can now be taken into account into how you can now save more money or have more money in your pocket when it comes, tax season. On top of that, you're not paying for a separate building for your business. You're using your house, which is where you pay your mortgage. You're not paying on a second mortgage or a second lease or a second rent for a building. Even if the place you live at is a place that you rent, it's still you're paying one bill. That's it, rather than two. All right. Another thing you can also look at is that this here is a nugget for all of you out there who have children. Okay. You can hire your children to work for you in your business. That you can do. I'll say it again. You can hire your children to work for you in your business, which means now you have employees who work in your building, quote, your house, that you can pay to work for you without hiring someone on the outside. Now, of course, your children aren't going to run your checkbook, your bank books, bank statements, and all that. No, but they can be the janitor. They can clean. They can do that, right? Anything that a janitor would do, they could do. And that's it's age appropriate, but depending on how well or how much you taught your children, they clean the bathrooms, clean the floors, pick up the trash, take the trash out, sweep, all that kind of stuff. All I'm saying. Moving on from that, you must be focused. You must be focused. And whatever it is you're going to do, you must be focused. We've said this a whole lot of times. Focus. One of the acronyms that I have from one of my mentors, Dr. Breakthrough, is focus. Fixated on course until successful.
That's good.
Fixated on course until successful. I mean,
that's good.
Yeah, I mean that's a very firm, way of putting focus. I personally, and I'll tell you about myself, and I'll let O jump in. I personally have gotten to a point where I'm like, look, this is how I'm going about doing things here on out. Is I'm focused. I have blinders on, and I'm not blinded to what's going on around me. I'm just not letting what's around me, deter my focus. And there's certain things that I've done in years past I'm not doing moving forward from a business standpoint and to a degree a personal standpoint as well. I've always said that my life, my business is my life, and my life is my business. So, and that includes everything, meaning my family, my businesses, my relationships, all that. It's all included. Now, I might prioritize them differently, but they're all inclusive in what I do. And so right now, there are things that I'm building in my business. I've added 2 new things to my business that I currently have that I'm building. And I have to remain focused. laser focus. Because if I don't, if I let distractions get in and start making me go left and right, I'll be where I was last year, year before that, 5 years ago, and beyond. And I don't want to do that because, and I don't care to do that because I need to remain focused to continue to build the wealth container for my family and for others who are depending on me, meaning others who are depending on me to lead them and to guide them and to give them instruction and to mentor them and all that. Oh, what you got?
No, man, I over the last, I'll say 7 years, I've realized that like once you're focused and you got the blinders on and you have a goal you're trying to get to, I notice you offend a lot of people.
Oh, for sure. For
You're
sure.
going to make a lot of people mad. People are not going to understand. People are going to think some people even think you might be missing it.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed this over the last couple of years, and it's like, it's almost like you can't even say nothing to them because they wouldn't understand, right? It's like,
Nope.
so like I just noticed that. So if you're focused out there, people, if you got something you're trying to get to, like TK said, he can't let stuff come in that's going to make him go left or right, and it could be subtle. If that thing that comes in, like, I'm taking all your words today, brother. He said his life is his business is his life. If that thing doesn't come in and aid to helping his business and his life and his life and his business, he got to put it to the side. So like a lot of things, it could be subtle. It could be an old friend. It could be an old community. It could be an old anything, and I won't even say old, but it could be anything that comes in, and it may look good. It may look like it's like, oh man, it's no problem. But that one little change in trajectory can make you go completely left when you're supposed to keep going straight. You know what I mean? So again, I'm learning it. I don't know it all right now, but like I'm still seeing how this thing works, and I'm seeing how when you're focused on something, you may come off as selfish, but that's what you come off as. But you know you're doing it for a bigger picture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just believe in yourself. Believe that you know what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing, and keep the main thing the main thing.
Keep the main thing the main thing. My man Ali Madawi says, keep the main thing the main thing.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
And you know what? And let's be honest. You need to be selfish at times when it comes to being focused.
I agree.
And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. It's a great thing. You need to be, listen, let's, I'm going to take you biblical for a minute. All right. The Messiah, Yahushua. You guys know him as Jesus. I'm always going to reference that so you guys know what I'm talking about. He said, I must be about my Father's business. He did not let things get him off focus.
Come on, that's a good example. Yes.
Now here's the thing. O said, when you're focused, you're going to offend people because they're not going to understand why you're doing what you're doing. They might even say, he said, that you're missing it. There are people that the Messiah did not bless and heal.
Come on,
or
man.
deliver, because he was like, nah, like it's not time for me to do
time
that
yet. Right.
I gotta keep moving. There are other times where he went through a town and didn't do anything and just kept moving.
Come on, man.
Because he was focused on the mission that he had. So again, our greatest example is the Messiah. Now, there's other examples out there that we have, and yes, you can follow other examples. But I always say the greatest example is right in the word of Elohim, right there in our faces. So yes, you have to be focused. People aren't going to understand why you're doing what you're doing, and that's okay. That's okay. We talked last week, about, we talked about vision. Not everyone's not going to have your vision. It is not for them to have it. It's for you to have it, and then you need to be focused on keeping that vision and maintaining that vision. So yes, you are going to offend people, whether it's family, friends. It could even be business partners.
Anybody. Yep.
And it might be time. If that's the case, it may be time for that partnership to end and find another one that will envision your vision.
I agree.
I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Moving on. Choices are made with your mind. Decisions are made with your heart.
Mm.
I say it again. Choices are made with your mind. Decisions are made with your heart. We've said before that on this show that choices and decisions are two different things. We said it even last week on the podcast. Choices and decisions are two different things. And we've said that a number of times on here. So that's one thing y'all going to hear quite often. Choices, again, you have multiple choices you can choose from. You can choose one, if it doesn't work out, you can come back, get another one, choose that. You can keep choosing until one works. Decisions means you got A and B. Whichever one you pick, the other one goes away, and you got to rock out to that, whether it works or not. So when you make a choice, it's something that happens in your mind. You're like, all right, I got multiple choices to make from. All right, I'll choose this. If it don't work, then I'll go back and choose that. You make a decision, it's a heart thing. You make a decision who it is you're going to follow. You make a decision who it is you're going to serve. You make a decision which house you're going to buy. Let's take that example right there. I'll let O come in on this one too. You don't make a choice. You make a decision. The choices you make are, okay, these are the four houses. Those are your choices. After a while, you got to make a decision which one you're going to buy. And once that decision is made and you bought it and you moved in, if something goes wrong or happens, you can't get out.
Mm-mm.
You got to stay there. You made the decision to pick that house to move into. Oh, I know you got something.
Yeah, no, man. Right, I said we done moved a couple times in the last whatever amount of years, but yeah, that decision. So let me get this little nugget. When you make you know what? I haven't been single in so long that my decisions now are made with a partner.
Mm-hmm.
So when you make that decision, let's just say about buying a house, you two got to both be, y'all hearts got to be on the same page. Because if one person's making a choice and you're making a decision, y'all gonna be in a house for years unhappy. One didn't like it, the other one loved it. Now all these problems are coming about, and it's just not a home anymore. It's just a place to stay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, that's a good one, brother. That decision making, it comes from your heart. You definitely got to have that when you are purchasing a home. You got to see yourself there. You got to see you raising your kids there. You got to see you doing business out of there. You got to see everything. Exactly. Even before, it's almost like you got to see the whole painting done before the painting is even done. Well, kind of like how you guys did. Like y'all, what y'all rented? Y'all did a bunch of y'all went in there and started painting. Yeah. Not physically painting, but like putting things here, doing things there. You know what I'm saying? Making it a home. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And look, sometimes you need to grasp onto someone else's vision before you can see it. Because trust me, like the house we're in now, like we my wife saw it before I did. Like it fit, but I had something in mind that I wanted to have, but I had to be like, all right, I have to make a decision, or not I, but we make a decision, and like it had everything we asked for and more, but what I envisioned was something else. So yes, I'm glad we made the decision to purchase the house we're in now because it fits everything we have and more for our family. But if I had made a choice and she had made a decision, like you said, now we living in this house unhappily.
Yep.
Because one of us made a choice and the other had a decision. We weren't on the same page. So you got to make decisions with your heart.
Decisions with your heart, yeah.
Plain and simple. Last two things before we go to break. It's called the increase and decrease method. Increase and decrease method. And we'll kind of talk about this more after the break. So, real quick, the increase is money working for you. The decrease is when you are working for money. Again, increase, money is working for you. The decrease is you working for money. We'll talk about that after the break from the Mind Inc. podcast. Are you looking for an apparel company that's positive, uplifting, and truly cares about you? Then look no further. Frame of Mind Inc., an apparel brand company, impresses on individuals to think positive thoughts, say positive things, and do positive deeds. Get positive apparel such as t-shirts, hoodies, and wristbands for children, teens, and adults in various colors and sizes. Customized services include logo and t-shirt design, screen printing, and embroidery for individuals, families, schools, profit, and nonprofit organizations. You can reach Frame of Mind Inc. at 302-689-3499 or visit their website at www.frameofmindinc.com. Frame of Mind Inc. Think it, speak it, achieve it.
It's a frame of mind.
Welcome back. Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. Before we left during break, we were talking about the wealth container, and we'll continue talking about the wealth container here. We talked about having an at-home business, cutting down overhead, hiring your children, regardless of the age or stage. Just the work itself needs to fit the age or stage of what they do. We talked about choices and decisions, which is something that we talk about all the time here in the podcast. Choices are made with your mind, decisions are made with your heart. And then we touched on the increase and decrease method, which we're going to get more into now here in the second half of the show. But what I do want to do first, if you want to contact us, you can always contact us via email at FOFMpodcast@frameofmindinc.com. Again, that's FOFMpodcast@frameofmindinc.com, or give us a call at 302-689-3499. Again, that's 302-689-3499. So back to the topic of discussion, increase and decrease method. Now, I'm going to make a very quick and to the point elaboration on this before we move forward, because some of y'all are probably like, wait, what do you mean? You telling me my job is a problem? No, not saying that at all. Not saying that at all. What I am saying is that, yes, everyone needs to have work, okay? Now, I personally don't want to say job, but yes, everyone needs to have work, okay, that you're getting paid to do. All right, you can call it a job if you want to, whatever. But you need to have more than just that. More than just that. So if you're constantly working for money, eventually money is going to run out. That's the short and sweet point of it. I'm not going to go into too long because we got a few more things to get to. If money is working for you, that's a longevity game. That includes savings, investments, and assets. I'm going to let Omar talk more about that because that's what he does day in and day out, though you can see his background behind him of investment screens. So, just touch on that, just a real quick, short, sweet to the point, savings and investments and assets being a additive to you working for money, having a job and or work.
So the thing is, you talk about increase and decreasing, right?
Right.
So like basically, that's just another way of saying assets and liabilities. We want to gain assets and we want to get rid of liabilities. Now, sometimes we don't understand what the difference between the two are. So like he said, assets are investments. Savings used to be, you don't get much money back on savings, but it's also not losing you much money, but it's not the best thing to put your money in at this particular moment. But like anything, an asset is anything that gives you money back, and a liability is anything that takes money away. So some people think that their homes are assets. Can be, but your home is not actually giving you money on a monthly basis unless you run your business out of it.
Say that, brother.
Right? Unless you do a few things. It's things you could do to your house to turn it into an asset. But again, he said touch it briefly. So basically, just understand the difference between assets, liabilities, increase, decreasing. The things you buy that bring you money are what we want, and that's usually investments, stocks, real estate, different types of accounts, different businesses, things that take away money from you. A lot of debt. Debt pretty much you just reverse it. So like if you're in debt, it's like you're getting charged all the interest.
Mm-hmm.
If you're collecting, you're getting all the interest. So just switch it around. So just know the difference between the two when you purchase anything. It's like you could buy a car. Liability, but it's things now where you could turn your car into an asset. You can go delivering in it.
There you go.
You could do Uber, you could do Amazon Prime. You can rent your car out. So like just understanding, you know what I'm saying?
So it's really all
yeah.
about how you use
yeah,
the liability to become
an
an asset.
Right. There you go, brother. That's
So
the whole
listen,
deal.
I'm gonna put a plug in right here. You want to learn more about investments and assets and all that? You need to join us every first Wednesday of the month with our stock and trade and investment talks with O. That's all I'm saying. Every
You know
first
what?
of the month, every first Wednesday of the month, we do a stock, trade, and investment talk. And O goes over this stuff all the time. So, and again, it's stuff you can do right now to build, and we're talking about today, a wealth container for your family and for your life. And also to be a blessing to others as well.
Mhm.
All right. Moving on. So again, I just want to make sure that I was very clear. I'm not saying that your job or your work is a bad thing. It's just if that's the only thing you have coming in for you, it is going to be a decrease in your life longevity wise, because once that's over and done, it's over and done. You know, and you can have, again, talked about savings. Yes, it's not, it depends. Now, if you have a savings account that increases on its own, meaning it is a percentage that goes into it, like that's a great savings. If you have a savings account, nothing's happening there, it's like, I mean, it's great, but it's like, you know, you want to have one that kind of builds on its own, even as you're putting money in there. Anyway, walk away from that. Let's not get too deep into that. All right. Moving along with the wealth container. We have what we call the FWP. FWP. Follow wealth principles. Follow wealth principles. Number one, you must have an effective plan. You must have an effective plan, meaning you need to sit down and write things out. Do not say, I got it all up here in my head. Because guess what? If you don't write it down, you're going to forget about it. You're going to say, what was that idea I had about such and such? Or what was that thing I thought about we could do to make more money? I don't remember. Write it down. Write it down. The word of Elohim says, write the vision and make it plain.
Mhm.
It's a reason to do that, because our minds, they're not infinite. They're finite. You're going to forget stuff. Write it down. If you can't write it down, take your phone out and make a note, whether it's vocal or it's something you text. You can text yourself. Text yourself, so that way you'll know to go back to it later, or set a reminder in your phone. Do something. You have absolutely no reason why you can't put something down real quick and keep moving. You have not necessarily your world, but your electronic world in your pocket nowadays. It's in your pocket. You don't have to go looking for it. You ain't got to find a computer somewhere. It's in your pocket. Jot it down, come back to it later. That simple. Must have an effective plan. And in doing so, your effective plan needs to be something that is attainable. Now, of course, that's not saying not to dream big or think big, but we have to make attainable goals and an attainable plan that is going to help us to get there. You just can't say, all right, I want to make $1 million and I'm going to do it by having this business, plan or this business I want to run. Okay, that's great. But there are many steps in a business plan to get where you want to go to make $1 million
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is you want to do to make whatever amount of money you want to make. You have to have an effective plan. Effective means it has to work. Period. Has to work. Effective plan. Number 2, money has to work for you. We just said that. We just said that. Money has to work for you. Again, nothing wrong with working for money, but you need to have other assets, other sources of income where money's working for you and building money for you, building wealth for you, so that you can have, when it's all said and done, and you have gone and left this earth, I've left a legacy for your children and the children's children to build off of, to live off of, and to do. But of course, we all would like to, of course, have some of that wealth while we're here living too, as well. That's part of why you're building it, to build that life and legacy as you're still here. You can build a legacy while you're still alive.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gotta be dead and gone. Okay,
Come on, man.
get that out your head. You ain't gotta be dead and gone. Perfect example: Tom Brady. He is building a legacy right now as we speak. Not only that, he's making history as we speak, as a 45-year-old man playing quarterback in the NFL, is considered without any question the greatest of all time as an NFL player. He's making history right now and building a legacy for his children and children's children by what he's doing. Like right now for Tom Brady, it's not even about the money. He's like, I still have the heart and the will to keep doing this. And my body is allowing me to do it. So I'm going to keep doing it until my body or my will says, I've had enough.
Yeah.
He's built his wealth container. It's already built. He's just doing it now. He's doing it for fun now. But in doing it for fun, he's still like, I'm going to still come out here every day and I'm going to give it to you because I can.
Right.
But it's fun. It's more about fun now. It's not about I got to build, and get the best contract, get the best this. It's like, no. He moved to Florida for a reason. It was a business move. Period. Go ahead, O.
Let me add to that too. So a lot of us, so think about what TK just said. He said he's already built his wealth container. He's been building, and now it's fun, right? So if we take that, like, so some of us, I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm the first generation that really understands wealth and starting to get it. Like I need more to learn, but like I gotta be the one to do I gotta build. I may not even enjoy it all. I'm enjoy some of it, but my generations down the line will be like Tom Brady now. My son, his kids, my daughter, like they'll be the ones enjoying the wealth and really, not that please hear me out. Not that I'm not going to enjoy it, but somebody got to stand up for the family and go, you know what? This is going to change.
Yeah.
We're putting a pin in this. This way of living is done. I need to get my 6 rings like Tom Brady. Yes.
7 rings, brother.
7
rings.
My fault. Yeah. So
nah, it's all good. But listen, like who's gonna catch that? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's another day for that's sports talk. We'll talk about
Sports,
that later.
Yeah.
So yes, money has to work for you. All right. Number 3, you cannot continue to work for money. We just said that. We just said that. You cannot continue to work for money. Now, again, that's not saying you got to quit your job. You got to leave, put 2 weeks in. Now, if that happens, you better have something that's going to work for you. And that's not saying to have a business, because here's the difference. And this is a real brief touch. It's the difference between being a business owner and being an entrepreneur. A business owner, you have to be there for the business to work and run and do what it do. An entrepreneur, the business works for you. Someone else is running it. Someone else is working for it. You're just the head of it. But you're doing other things that don't involve you having to be there for it to work. So if you're going to leave or quit your job or put your 2 weeks in or whatever, you need to have something that's going to work for you. But again, you cannot continue to work for money over a long period of time and think that's going to build your wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen, you can have a job that's paying you very, 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 very well. Let's be honest. I'll say this real quick and we'll move on. The cash flow game that Robert Kiyosaki made, that game teaches you how to build wealth. It is not Monopoly. Okay, it has Monopoly principles, but it is a teaching moment of how to build wealth in your life as a worker. I'm gonna tell this one nugget and I'm gonna move on. I don't want to tell you too much. So in the game, you get to pick your occupation. You just pick one out and you read it and you see what it is and you go from there. And it gives you all the details of what happens and how you can do things. I was a doctor. And I'm like, oh, I make good money and all that. But guess what? It's not a knock against doctors. It's just real life from someone who knows how occupations work and what happens. As a doctor, when I picked up that doctor card, I had money. But guess what? I could not build enough from investments because my assets, or I'm not my assets, my quote unquote liabilities were too high. My mortgage was too high because I had a big house.
Mm-hmm.
My car note was too high because I had a luxury vehicle. I had too many things. I had a golf course membership that I had on a monthly basis. So all of my nice looking things were great, but I didn't have enough money to invest in other things because my bills were too high. My house was too big. I had too many luxury cars, and I had a membership to a golf course place that I go to once a month. Like, for what? So now I'm looking, I'm saying, man, I'm a doctor and I'm making, 6 figures a year, but I can't invest in nothing because my bills are too high because I decided to go out and get all this nice stuff. All I'm saying is that you can continue to work for money, but if that runs out and you don't have anything working for you during that time or after that time, like that's it. Like, that's all you have. And then you have to manage that over time. And that becomes cumbersome when you're used to making a lot of money and you got to manage it because now you're retired, you don't have it anymore, blah, 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 blah. That just becomes now it becomes your job to manage your money that is not working for you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you got anything else? We're moving on. What we got?
No, we go. We get it. Yeah.
Last one. Last one. Wealth begins internally. Wealth begins internally, meaning wealth begins in you first, in me, in O. We always want to make sure we include ourselves because we're not sitting here preaching to y'all, and we are bringing you value, but we're not just saying, we're not pointing the finger at you. We're pointing the finger at all of us collectively, and that includes those who out there who financially may have more than we do, but they're kind of like, man, they might be like that doctor who's like, I've got the money, but what am I going to do when I'm done doing this and I have nothing else to fall back on? I have no investments. I have no stocks. I have no trading. I have no vocation, not a vocation, but I have no hobby or specialized thing that I do outside of my job that can also probably be an asset for me. Like, what do I do now? People who retire early because either they have the wealth to do so, or they hit the lottery, which I don't suggest playing lottery, but if you do so, you need to know how to manage that money because they can be here today and gone tomorrow because you don't know how to do it. But that do that, they're looking to see, all right, what can I do now? And when you don't know what to do and you're stuck, it's like you now have fallen into the increase decrease method. That's what you fall into. You fall into the decrease method because now there's nothing else coming in. And retirement's great. You get retirement money. I get all that. I get it all. But you got to have something else to fall back on. Because once that money is gone, it's gone. It's not coming back. It's that simple. Again, we're talking financially, but we're also talking internally. You have to build up, yourself, build up your character, your mindset, because your mindset could take you very far. And when you start unlocking things in your mind, especially you're not unconscious. Oh gosh, your subconscious mind. Please don't do your unconscious mind. Please stay conscious. All right, stay conscious. When you start unlocking things in your subconscious mind, things will start coming to you that you never thought about because you're digging deep inside yourself to be like, oh, I didn't know that was there. And what happens is you start attracting things to you because your subconscious mind starts to say, hey, what about this? You can do this. How about you start working that? And I strongly believe, and I believe O is with me on this, that Elohim resides and speaks in the unconscious mind. What you got, O?
I agree 1,000%, brother. I agree 1,000%. I have a point. I don't know if I want to close out with it, or was that the last point?
No, you can close out with it. That's cool.
All right, I'm gonna give you a nugget. When we're talking about this wealth container. So I'm gonna give you a nugget that I got from a guy named Myron Golden. If you haven't heard of him, go check him out. This man said, and it changed everything for me. He said, if you make $5,000 passively a month, it's the equivalent of having $1 million in the bank at 5% a year. Let me say that one more time. If you make $5,000 passively a month, is the equivalent of having $1 million that's making 5% a year on that million. So what that did for me was it said, okay, this $1 million mark, I don't have to, all I got to do is figure out how to passively make 5,000. You can do that with less than $1 million. So every 5,000 a month you make is like having another million, and so on. So like, I don't know if that did anything for anybody, but for me personally, it was like the biggest, I don't know. You'd be surprised at things that's gonna break it wide open for you, but that was like, oh man, that it made everything attainable at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll leave you with that nugget from Myron Golden. Go check him out.
Yeah. Myron Golden is if you haven't heard of him and you don't know who he is, I highly suggest you Google him.
He changed my life.
After this show. Go Google Myron Golden. He is
the truth.
Yeah, he's the truth. He is.
Truth. Yeah.
Both me and O, we got a chance to meet him. Take a picture with him. If you don't believe it, I'll put it up here next week when we come up. But he's a great man, and he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah,
and he will blow your mind. He will blow your mind. In my eyes, possibly the greatest salesman I've ever met.
Yeah.
There is a 99.9% chance he can sell you anything at any given time,
right,
anywhere he chooses to. But aside from that, his wealth of knowledge there's probably 5.5%, and I say this seriously, there's probably 0.5% of people in the world that have the knowledge that he has, and he's in that 0.5%.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll come to a close on this. We went a little longer than usual, but you know what? That happens. And, it's a brand new year, and we want to give you guys some great value moving forward, help you guys out in life. Let's see here. Before we end out, let's look at this real quick. Let's see. Next week, we'll be talking about finishing. Just in general, finishing. And that could be anything, for you. Finishing whatever you started, finishing, something that you haven't started yet. Like what's the end goal? What's the finish of that? Finishing up, working through, getting it done. So next week, talking about finishing. And as always here, at Frame of Mind Inc., continue to think it, speak it, and achieve it. And until next time, holla. Thank you for joining the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. And as always, here at Frame of Mind Inc., think positive thoughts, say positive things, and do positive deeds. As our tagline says, think it, speak it, achieve it. See you next time.
It's a frame of mind. It's what you say and what you do.
Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.frameofmindinc.com, where you can browse our online apparel store, listen to some of our original music and production services, as well as view our videos and projects we've done for our clients and customers.